So today I thought I'd do the mental illness tag thing. It's not really a tag, but it's just some questions I'm going to answer now if you're new to my channel, so it kind of clears up some questions and you know exactly where I stand and everything. So the first question is, what mental illness do you have? I have a few. I have had bulimia. I've suffered with self-harm issues. I've suffered with depression, and I suffer with a mood disorder, but it has not been diagnosed as such, so I don't know which one it is or if I have any disorder at all, but I definitely have something wrong with my moods where I'm high and as a kite one minute and down the next. So I have a mood disorder, but I just don't know which because I've not been diagnosed. And I also suffer with panic attacks and anxiety. Number 2, when were you diagnosed? I first ever purged on Christmas Eve 2007, and by the summer of 2008 I was diagnosed with bulimia with restricting tendencies, and they found out about my self-harm. I wasn't diagnosed with self-harm because I don't know if you can be, but obviously it was written in my notes that I self-harmed. I also was diagnosed with clinical depression, and yeah. I was diagnosed with anxiety and low self-esteem. I never knew you could even get diagnosed with low self-esteem in like 2011, and yeah, that's pretty much all the diagnostics. Who knows about it? Everyone. I'm not ashamed of them. I don't exactly bring them up in topic if we're speaking to someone new, but family and friends know, and if anyone ever had my Twitter, they'd know. Yeah, and yeah, so pretty much everyone knows. I don't really keep it a secret. What is... Yeah! What is the hardest... What is the hardest part of living with a mental illness? The hardest part is that no one can see it, so no one knows when you're going to have a bad time. No one knows when you're having a bad time, because sometimes it can be, some days are better than others, and obviously if you're ill you're going to see it in your face, but with a mental illness it's hidden, so I hate that it's so hidden and there's such a stigma with mental illness, and that you can't escape it because it's always in your mind and you just can't get rid of it. Number 5, what is something that surprised you about your illness or recovery? What surprised me was the amount of people that were so supportive. Obviously there's tons and tons of people that just don't understand mental illness, which is fair enough, but it's people that actually do understand, and that they weren't as like judging when I told them. The surprise about recovery was that it was possible, because I always thought I'd have issues forever and ever, but recovery has kind of shown me that I can have, like, I don't know if it'll last forever, recovery, but at the moment it seems to be going well, so yeah, that surprised me. What is one false assumption about your particular disorder that you wish to correct? Thing about self-harm, it's not about wanting to die, it is basically trying to get rid of sadness, and it's just a coping mechanism. That an eating disorder has to be someone who is skeletal, because I am definitely not skeletal. I wasn't even skeletal when I was in the worst part of my eating disorder. So yeah, just those kind of like stereotypes, and that self-harmers are all emos and stuff. And number 7, what is one false assumption about mental illness in general that you wish to correct? That they're not attention seeking, that they are just as bad as like diabetes and all this kind of stuff, because people always just think, oh, mental illness, it's just but like, they are serious issues, and you can die from a mental illness, and they plague you, and you wouldn't exactly tell someone with cancer that they're attention seeking, so why would you tell someone with a mental illness that they're attention seeking? It just kind of really frustrates me. So that's the kind of tag thing. Some questions answered for you, so thanks for watching. Bye!